What's poppin', people? It's Dante. I'm currently along the Schuylkill River Trail, my favorite place to start the day. Photographing with the Ricoh GR3, high contrast black and white, small JPEG files, contrast cranked to the max, just point and shoot, man. Snap focus infinity, AV mode at f8, baby. Don't we love those camera settings? Auto ISO, minimum shutter speed of 1/500th of a second. You know, this is what a professional camera setup looks like. You know that saying, are you a professional photographer, bro? I'm a professional photographer. What is a pro photographer? A pro photographer is someone who goes from AV mode to P mode. So maybe I should be at P mode and call myself pro. Let's go P mode. Yeah, so this is like, look at the, you know, embrace the mundane, right? The name of the game is in the mundane. When I walk the same way every single day, I find something to uplift with the photograph. The beautiful clouds, they're so low. It's like almost as if I can touch the sky today. They're moving fast, they're very low. You know, I usually go left, you know, but I'm following my intuition today. I'm moving right. You know, I'm not walking that way. Let's walk this way. This building is intriguing to me, and seeing the way in which the clouds move around the building. You know, let me maybe put the tree in the foreground here. I don't know. Let's just go over there and check it out. It just looks cool. Follow your intuition, right? My intuition is telling me this way. You know, I typically enjoy going to the Philadelphia Museum of Art, though. It's a nice place to catch the sunrise and stuff. You know, good views, but yeah, here we are. Whatever. This way is nice too. Yeah. A revolutionary river. Spartans! What is your profession? How? Why the hell did they put these little googly eyes over the... They've made X. Yes, let's cross out the faces and defame the you know, the men that set this whole thing up for us. Seems kind of unwise. I feel like when I walk on this river, I channel my inner George Washington, right? I'm the revolutionary soldier here in Philadelphia underneath the bridge of Market Street. And yeah, maybe it's better to think of ourselves as warriors instead of a photographer. I mean, I don't know, it's like it's more interesting, you know, when I'm in bed. You know, clothing is armor. When I'm in bed, I wake up in the morning, eyes wide open. I'm curious, what's out there? Throw me on the front lines of life. You know, like, I'm lusting for life. I'm lusting for battle. So treating the home gym as a way for me to train for battle and then head out there to the unknown, where who knows where the road will take me. And I think that's what's so special about photography generally, is like just throwing yourself into the chaos, into the unknown, and yeah, just letting the chips fall as they may. But yeah, we the new Spartans, the new warriors. Gotta get your armor on, you know, before you head out. Maybe it's good to have gloves in the winter. Maybe that's wise. You know, I had a little bit of mucus in my nose. What does that mean? It's yeah, the change of seasons, who knows. What is mucus? Phlegm, something? Yeah. Man, look at the building looks so cool. The way the light is like reflecting in such a unique way today. Wow. For what is photography but merely painting with light? This is really nice. Something about the light this morning when it comes to the birds. Just watching the patterns of the birds. You know, the connection to nature is something really critical in my daily routine. For me to have this river and connection to the sky above, looking at the clouds, embracing the sun, surrounded by nature, trees, bushes, and some upcoming poisonous berries, you know? Don't eat the poisonous berries. Don't eat the red berries. You might die. That looks like a bat. Why make videos? Why am I talking to a camera right now? I find that the more that I walk and just speak out loud, the more I can sort of just think and also have fun. I think actually when I make a video, it's mostly just a way for me to explore my subconscious and yeah, just stop being so perfect. You know, I'm sick and tired of all these like media things nowadays that are so curated. It's like, dude, your life isn't that aesthetic. You know, it's like, stop trying to make your life a fucking movie. This is cool. This is really nice. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I came over here just because it just looks different today. The problem with this hood is you lack peripheral vision. I can't really see to the left of or the right of me within this hood, but the hood is quite impenetrable, which is nice. Hey, we're rolling along the river. The ability to quickly and inexpensively transport supplies, finished goods, and food by rail revolutionized life in Philadelphia in the 1800s. Check it out. This revolutionized life in the 1800s, and it's currently the year 2024. Construction of new rail lines also created jobs, from building train parts to laying the tracks. 3 major and many minor railroad companies built tracks along the Schuylkill in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia and Reading Railroad, Pennsylvania Railroad, and Baltimore and Ohio Railroad competed to control Philadelphia trade, laying miles of railroad track and buying other companies along the way. While railroads were important for Philadelphia business and industry, they also cut off neighborhood access to the river. Abandoned rail lines were left along the banks because they were difficult and expensive to remove. Years of heavy railroad use left layers of coal ash, oil, and tar that contaminated the soil along the river. Hey, check out this old photo here, courtesy of phillyhistory.org. Oh, I gotta check that out. Note to self, phillyhistory.org. Look at that old train. So, the Philadelphia terminal. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Hey, check out the train. You know, I'm a big fan of trains. I'm a big train guy. I think actually public transportation is the future. I fucking hate being in a car. Yesterday I went to the Costco Business Center to get the meat. What's the best meat to buy? It's the Costco lamb leg. It comes from, I believe, New Zealand, Australia, or somewhere. And it's halal. Keep it halal. I think that lamb is good. Hey, look at the... Is that a doggy? Yeah, it's a doggy. So yeah, I think the lamb leg, what's so great about this lamb leg is you throw it in a slow cooker, add some salt, some rosemary, whatever. 9 to 5, 8 hours. You don't have to do shit. You just leave it in and it's perfectly juicy, tender, and the best serving for a 1 meal a day, 100% carnivore diet. It's like, man, this is probably the best thing to eat right now, it seems. And I believe these places in New Zealand and Australia, that's where they have all these like lambs and sheep and stuff. So hey, maybe there's something to it, man. Halal meat. Keep it halal. Every day, Eid al-Adha, right? I'm making that sacrifice. And yeah. So where am I going with that? Oh yeah, like it takes like, you know, the hour and a half, like driving, traffic, being in the car, even just sitting there, just like, I don't know. It's just fun. It's like I'm actually interested, like in the future. You know, like the future of food, transportation, delivery services. Like, what is it gonna be? Because when I was in Miami, they had these little robot cars driving around delivering like people's Uber Eats meals and stuff. And to me, this is just so crazy. Like when I saw these little RC cars driving around delivering food, I was kind of blown away, because I've never seen that in Philadelphia, you know. I haven't seen that here, but in Miami apparently they have it. Also in Miami, a lot of these places don't accept credit cards or debit cards or any sort of card, right? So it's like when you go to pay, or excuse me, the complete reverse. They don't accept cash, right? So when you go up, I'm like, oh, can I have this coffee? I just give them like 20. It's like, no, we don't take cash. So you have to pay with a, you know, debit card, a credit card or something. And I don't know, it's just interesting. Apple Pay, you know, tap your phone. Yeah, all these things seem to be the future. I don't know if cash will be around forever. Who knows? Maybe it will. I mean, I just think it's less useful, it seems, like especially in Miami, from my experience. Even my mom, she told me she went to this place to I don't know what the store was, but she went to buy something, and like she didn't even have to like check out. Like she just walked out with the goods, and like they scan and track, you know, like what you bought without having to interact with any employees. I don't know, I'm just thinking about that, because actually in Philadelphia, if I go to like a CVS, Rite Aid, whatever, and I want to buy like deodorant or soap or like anything basic, you have to press a little button, alert a custodian worker, whatever, that to come and then get a key and unlock this like item from the glass that's overpriced anyway, and you can get on Amazon for half. And you know, then, you know, a lot of the times they don't even want to check you out. They're like, oh, just use the self-checkout. It's like, yeah, the future of automation is just amusing to me. And I think it's because a lot of people just like rob these brick and mortar stores. Thinking of my favorite location in the city, the Wanamaker building. I mean, this is one of mankind's greatest artistic achievements. Listening to the Wanamaker organ, having this incredible, it's the world's largest playing pipe organ. Play every single day at noon and 5:30. Although recently I've been checking in and it's either been late or not playing. I don't know what's up. And so yeah, I mean, for instance, at that store, they have like hundreds of robbings a year. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel of some guy getting dragged out by the police who tried to stab a security officer. You know, someone was recently stabbed there as well, maybe a couple months back. And you know, what's funny is I hear about these things through like being on the elevator, and like people are always like frantic, like, oh, did you hear about the stabbing or whatever? It's like, no, I'm just going for my walk, you know. And it's like, I could have actually went for my walk and just never heard about it, because I don't check the news. Like, I don't want to know what's going on. Ooh, the seagulls coming by. It's like, I don't want to check the news. I don't want to know what's going on. I just kind of want to go out and explore. And like, even traveling, I don't ever read about the place. I don't ever like look up like, where should I go and what should I do. It's like, if I go somewhere new, I stay for a month and I just explore openly. I don't like following any guidelines or any, like, you know, basic modes of traveling places. I don't know. And so yeah, it's kind of just an interesting thought. It's like, whatever you hear on the TV, whatever you hear on the screen ultimately determines the things that are in your reality. And I say, yeah, conquer reality, conquer the world, just create your own reality, essentially. You know, it could either be a dystopian nightmare or an insanely optimistic future. And, you know, with all these technological advancements and things, yeah, it can become kind of weird. Like, maybe after the TV was invented, things have sort of transformed for the worse. But to think optimistically about it, and to imagine a world where all these like people in traffic driving on these highways could just do things differently. Like I'm so glad to not own a car. I never want to own a car. I never want to have to drive. Like, being in a city, I mean, I guess people like the idea of like freedom, like, oh, I have a car, I can go wherever. It's like, I don't know, we have like the 30th Street station, like this incredible train station with amazing architecture that can take you, you know, from here to New York or to Baltimore, or even down south to Miami. I believe you can take the train if you're afraid of planes or whatever, or you just like trains. Seems much more efficient to me. Like when I go to visit my aunt, I take the train. Oh, here comes a sequel. Come right in my frame. Come here, come here. Oh, it's too low. I like the seagulls because they're nice. Look, he's coming close. Come on. I don't know. I just like photographing birds. I like studying the patterns of the pigeons and the seagulls and the way they move, and it's just an interesting way to look at it. Here it is. It's kind of fun. Welcome to National Geographic photographer Dante on the Schuylkill River banks here at the boardwalk. Today we're photographing seagulls along the river. Apparently Schuylkill, it's like, it just means river. Like Schuylkill is, I believe, like a native term that means river. Also, considering where I grew up around Manayunk, I think from the Lenape tribe, they describe the word Manayunk as, you know, where we go to drink or something like that. Like where we go to drink. I don't know. I just ChatGPT it. Like using ChatGPT to just study and learn things is interesting. So a lot of the stuff here in Philadelphia, a lot of the names of streets, especially where I grew up, were always named after, you know, Native American tribes and things. And it has me thinking about our connection to the land. So apparently the land, you know, when the Native Americans occupied this area here in Philadelphia, you know, the men with the top hats came. Here's my quick summary. The men with the top hats came and said, hey, Native Americans, do you want you know, $5? And they give them like this piece of paper, like a sack of coins, and we can have this and purchase it from you. And the natives are like, what do you mean? Like, this is God's land. It's like no one owns this thing. And it's just interesting to think of it through that lens, where like, who really owns this earth, who owns this river, who owns this land that we call Philadelphia, truly. You know, like, is it the Comcast Corporation with all of the money and power? Is it the realtors that own all the buildings? Or is it something else? You know, I think the connection we have to the earth is it's kind of different nowadays. We've kind of structured the city, in my opinion. It's almost as if it's a computer with this sort of information highway, just constantly flowing with people and the dollar and the piece of paper, the coins, the banks, all of these sort of systems in place is what's causing the people themselves to move their physical bodies to and from office buildings, sacrificing physiology for money, sitting inside without the sun. Yeah, it doesn't seem fun. It doesn't seem like we set ourselves up for thriving, but to connect with the earth and to recognize there are no borders, really. It's an open world. I like thinking that way. And yeah, perhaps thinking of my childhood spent in the woods, you know, I would pretend to be a Native American. I remember as a child I would make teepees and forts with sticks and rocks and hang around these caves that me and my neighbors would find, and sharpen sticks and make spears and pretend to go out and hunt deer. You know, I spent my youth and my childhood in the Wissahickon, in the woods, in the forest, just here a stone throw away from Center City, Philadelphia. And maybe deep down inside I'm mostly still that child. I'm still that explorer, that adventurer, just interested in the earth and interested in the life around me and the natural things like these trees. So I'd like to always start the day here at the river, and I remember making these little bridges out of stones. I would form bridges to get from point A to point B across the creek, like make little challenges, like, can we cross the creek, you know, and make our own bridge? Could you imagine when they built the Benjamin Franklin Bridge? That structure is incredible. And even these bridges here, these boardwalks, I mean, has me thinking about my childhood a bit. Building little bridges in the woods. They're extending this trail actually really far into the city, so there's gonna be, this boardwalk's gonna keep going. We're gonna be able to walk and ride our bikes and get from here to West Philadelphia, hopefully to the Bartram's Garden, which will be incredible. I mean, that'll be huge. You know, just reading that little bit of information about the railroads and cutting off different neighborhoods, perhaps this is how we can make up for it or something, by making these extensions and trails to connect neighborhoods. Yeah, it'll be awesome. Just thinking of that exciting future for Philadelphia. We have the Penn's Landing location being transformed. You know, the guys with the top hats came, I don't know who, I just think it's funny to say the guys with the top hats. The guys with the top hats and the buttoned up coats, they came and demolished all of these homes and places around the Penn's Landing location and put down concrete slabs so that we can have you know, this sort of path there. But actually now, for the next 5 years, they're remaking it into this like incredible park. So in 5 years from now, we should see lots and lots of green spaces pop up around the city. And yeah, I'm actually really happy to have walked this way because the skyline is striking with the fog. And Penn's Landing being one of my favorite locations, I'm really excited by it. So I think it'll be kind of cool. And so yeah, you know, follow your intuition, right? I decided to come this way because I figured the clouds being low could provide me with an interesting view, and yeah, it seems to be so, you know, just photographing, getting day started, thinking random thoughts, and yeah, just making photos. The stream of becoming, the goal to evolve, to go beyond, to transcend, and to embrace the sun is what fuels myself with power to continuously propel myself to the front lines of life. It's not off.